Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the UN Pathways Forum Series. I'm Jason Scorza. I'm Vice President for Global Learning here at Fairleigh Dickinson University. I'd like to start by going over a few of the programmatic ground rules for this evening so you all know what to expect. The format of our program tonight will be a conversation between Ambassador Ahmad Kamal of Pakistan and Ambassador Puri of India. We will then have a question and answer period where we'll allow questions from the audience. We are videotaping this evening's program, so please I would ask that you silence cell phones, pagers, other devices that make offensive noises, as I will myself do. Wait a minute. Okay. And also, just please be mindful if you need to move around the room in the course of the program. Footsteps fall very loudly in this particular room, so just move quietly so that doesn't get picked up by the microphone. We are deeply honored and deeply privileged to have as our guest this evening His Excellency Ambassador Hardeep Singh Puri of India. We, as perhaps many of you know, are honored now to have amongst us a member of the UN Security Council, or someone who's about to become a member of the UN Security Council. And certainly, congratulations are in order. The uniqueness of this event, I think, perhaps does not need to be underscored, but I will underscore it nonetheless. To have a senior diplomat of India and a senior diplomat of Pakistan in our presence, engaged in a candid conversation about issues that affect the world and their two nations, is not something that you see every day. I think we are all honored and privileged to have this opportunity to listen and learn. For His Excellency the Ambassador from India, I offer you a word of caution. Ambassador Kamal is a ruthless interviewer and discussant. He will start you off easily with a few jokes, but then he will go very much for the jugular. If it becomes too much for you, I would advise you simply to mention the current standings of the Commonwealth Games, in which India stands with 96 medals against Pakistan's 5, and I think that should quiet him down very quickly. I could go on, but I think it's best to get on with the show. So, Your Excellency, please.
Thank you very much. Let me begin by apologizing for being late. This is not a Pakistani conspiracy against India, but a United States, New Jersey traffic conspiracy against both India and Pakistan. And so, but on behalf of the United States, I apologize to you. Let me also begin by congratulating you on the absolutely unique performance in the elections yesterday. India got 187 votes, which is a remarkable. So my jealousy is not just because of the medals in the Commonwealth Games, but also because of this remarkable vote bank which India produced. And I would imagine that this is a testimony to the preeminent position which India has in the United Nations Forum. That being said, there is, as you can see, a very large Indian community here at Fairleigh Dickinson, but there are some non-Indians also. And so for the benefit of the non-Indians, there's a lot of talk about India and China all the time. But most of that talk seems to be centered on the size of the populations of both China and India. Now, we were told in the United States that size does not matter, but apparently it does, because everybody salivates in the mouth when thinking of 1 1.2 billion bottles of Coca-Cola being sold in India. And so we need to walk down first some of that greatness of India, not just in size, but in its disparity. Because India is so huge, and it is so diverse in its ethnicities, in its population structure, in its geography. Would you like to start by giving us a view as to how you see the width of the diversity of a country that is united and yet so diverse?
Well, thank you very much, Ambassador. For those of you who do not know this, but I've had the privilege of knowing Ambassador Kamal for many, many years. I had the
and you survived it?
And yes, absolutely. And I have gained strength from this association. He was ambassador and permanent representative in Geneva, where I served. I hadn't reached ambassadorial level at that stage. He's held many other very important and crucial appointments in the Pakistani Foreign Service. And I'm very happy to tell you that when we meet, not only when I meet Ambassador Kamal, I meet other senior Pakistani diplomats, the interaction is not should not be viewed in terms of an India-Pakistan cricket match. It is viewed more in terms of putting our heads together and looking for solutions which both our countries have to find in terms of the enormous developmental challenges that they face. So that's the spirit. Thank you very much also, Ambassador, for referring to our victory in the Security Council elections yesterday. Yes, we did get 187 votes, 187 out of 190. That is one of the, I don't know, in the last 5-6 years, that's probably the highest any country has scored. But I'm particularly happy that my Pakistani colleagues not only voted for us yesterday, even though it's a secret ballot, but I must share with you that when our candidature came up before the Asian group for endorsement many months ago, my distinguished colleague from Pakistan, the Deputy Permanent Representative, was one of the first to raise the flag and endorse India's candidature. And I said to him then, and I have no hesitation in saying for the record now in front of you, that when Pakistan is placed in similar circumstances, if I'm still here, or I will certainly recommend to my successor, India will do the same. India will also endorse Pakistan. Now, clearly, these contests involve not clean slates. I mean, we tend to look at them in the final stages. This looks like a clean slate. We were the endorsed candidate, but it took us a long time to get there. When we declared our candidature in December 2006, we had a contestant, a country which had already been a candidate for 12 years prior to that. There was another country which had been a candidate for several years. So India came in at a time when there were already two candidates. When I came here in May 2009, when I was assigned to New York, I am aware that India at that stage had only 64 assurances of support, and the other country had something like 35. We had to chase every single vote, and it is only when that country realized that India had secured or been able to secure assurances of at least 128 votes, which is the 2/3 majority required, that country withdrew then. That was December 2009. So let me just say that this is an important development from our point of view. India will be re-entering the Council after 19 years. But the more important thing from our point of view is that it puts behind us the trauma of our defeat in 1996. And that was very important to achieve psychologically, because there was a hesitation after that, and that